Good. Caroline.
Sandy's daughter is going to come up and take it away.
I'll yell. So first, I want to thank Mike Sullivan, Bob Halpro, Mark Timmies, and Chris Connor, and especially Mike Hill from the foundation, who have helped so much over the last few months in pulling this scholarship opportunity together to honor my father. I know Mike Hill isn't here today, but he drove to Greenville I don't know how many times to meet with us, and they really just wanted to make sure we got this just right. So it's an honor for me to be here to announce the Dr. William Sanford Durrell Endowed Scholarship in Chemistry. And I have to say, as the youngest of his 5 kids, I am doubly honored that my 4 older siblings are allowing me to speak on his behalf. Any other youngest siblings? Yeah, no. And in case you ever doubted that Sandy Durrell had a big, proud family today, you just heard he's represented by all 5 of his kids, his wife Jane, 3 of his grandkids, a great-granddaughter, his niece, and 2 amazing great-nieces are here on his behalf. So bear with me a minute. My job today is to introduce you to my dad, Sandy Durrell, gentleman, comedian, and scholar. When Sandy first arrived on the Pi Cap scene, he was a teen timer to the older fraternity brothers, already known for a wicked sense of humor and hilarious pranks. The first time my mom ever laid eyes on him, he was part of a homecoming parade. Bob Scott, I think you probably remember this. He was the skinniest thing you've ever seen, all 6'2" and 140 pounds. Ironically, dressed as a skeleton, with a sign around his neck reading "Corpus Durrellis," dancing around a hearse with his teen timer brothers in preparation for the impending massacre on the football field planned later that day. His silly antics continued long after his college years. A favorite memory of my siblings and mine are my dad's many imitations throughout our childhood, from Tiny Tim, complete with wig and falsetto, singing, We practiced that. To Tim Conway's dim-witted characters on the Carol Burnett show. Some of you might remember that. To the Monty Python Ministry of Silly Walks. Our dinner hour, as you can imagine, brimmed over with laughter. The laughter spilled over into other parts of our lives as well, like my parents learning to ski when the family moved to New England. Who could have imagined that it was possible for a skier to get caught hanging upside down from a tree? This was just one of many important lessons us kids learned from our dad. But of course, his love of slapstick and sense of adventure did not fully define him. Sandy was indeed a scholar. As an undergraduate majoring in chemistry and minoring in chemical engineering, he was inducted into Phi Beta Kappa, which is, according to the Association of College Honor Societies, the oldest and most prestigious academic honor society in the arts and sciences. After getting married, having twins, and serving several years in the Air Force, Sandy returned to the University of Florida for a master's and PhD, which he remarkably completed in just 3 years with a 4.0 grade point average. Back when that was the highest grade point average ever. As a PhD student, he was inducted into more honor societies, including Sigma Xi, the Scientific Research Honor Society. Now, according to their website, over 200 Sigma Xi members have gone on to win the Nobel Prize in their area of scientific focus, including 2-time winner and fellow chemist Linus Pauling, a personal mentor of Sandy. It was clear during his time at the University of Florida, Sandy was improving more than his drinking and comedic skills, but was sharpening his skills to make long-lasting impacts in the world of chemistry. His career began in the mid-50s as an officer in the Air Force. He was assigned to the early research efforts of manned re-entry space vehicles. According to NASA.gov, these early research efforts were instrumental to the future space shuttle program, and the material Sandy helped develop was later used to create the highly specialized window panes on the space shuttle orbiters. He transitioned to the private sector, where as an industrial chemist and R&D leader, he amassed over 20 patents and was on the forefront of the development of polymers and plastics like fiberglass that helped modernize the materials that we all depend on today. It was no surprise to find out several years ago that my dad is first cousin 8 times removed to Sir Isaac Newton. Which gives special meaning in our family when we say the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Throughout his career, Sandy was dedicated to the world's largest scientific community, the American Chemical Society, where he was a founding member of the Division of Fluorine Chemistry. According to Janet Bryant, Counselor of Business Management at ACS, Sandy was well published in many scientific journals throughout his career, and his contributions to the ACS continued long after his retirement from industry, and included the development of the first long-range plan to ensure growth well after his time there came to a close. In 2011, he was honored as an ACS Fellow for not only his 60 years of service to ACS, but his dedication and contributions in the field of chemistry and to our society. It is clear that throughout his life, he embraced the mission and vision of Pi Kappa Phi by embracing his role as a leader, putting service before self, and improving the world around him. Which leads to perhaps my dad's most endearing quality, his love of this brotherhood. Those of you that knew Sandy know that Pi Kappa Phi was synonymous with family. Not only was my father an only child, but in 1950, not long after joining the fraternity, his mother, Abby Newton, a renowned educator in Fort Lauderdale, died following a brief fight with cancer. His relationships with his Pi Cap brothers, perhaps out of necessity, became familial. And for the next 65 years, those relationships somehow managed to grow stronger. His Pi Cap buddies, both his teen timers like him, who married their college sweethearts and never divorced, as well as the young Pi Caps he sought out at Furman University from his retirement home in Greenville, they were all truly family to him. All of you were family to him. And in fact, of all the accolades that were bestowed upon my dad throughout his life, he was most moved by and most proud of being honored several years ago with his Diamond Legion Award for 60 years of service to Pi Kappa Phi. In the words of his beloved wife, Jane, Sandy was a multi-talented, energetic, adventurous, industrial man with a curiosity and an ambition to make the world a better place to live for all mankind. He was a true gentleman and scholar. He had a wicked sense of humor, making wise cracks with his family right up to his last breath. He loved his family, he loved God, he loved his Florida Gators, and he loved Pi Kappa Phi. Which is why we find some solace in sharing his life with all of you and continuing his legacy through a scholarship that encourages his Pi Cap brothers to pursue the field that he so loved. Where are our current Pi Cap brothers? Are any of them in here? Got a few in here, okay. Anyone majoring in chemistry? Because you're in luck if you, So we have chosen to create this scholarship. Again, the Dr. William Sanford Durrell Endowed Scholarship in Chemistry. This scholarship will be awarded annually beginning in the fall of 2020 to a Chi Kappa Phi brother in good standing who is a rising junior, senior, or graduate student in chemistry who has demonstrated excellence in chemistry based on a combination of research, experience, coursework, and a desire to pursue a career in chemistry. Special consideration, of course, will be offered to qualifying applicants from the Alpha Epsilon chapter of Chi Kappa Phi. So, this would not be an appropriate speech about my dad if I did not end on some words of wisdom. If at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not for you.
Well, it's my honor now to take on the formal dedication of this chapter house. But before I do, to Jane and the Durrell family, in the memory of Sandy, we're so honored by your gift to set up this scholarship. I remember when Sandy called me in Charlotte, the headquarters, because he had met some of the Furman Pi Caps that had come over to the home area where you were living. At the time, we were so excited to meet them. We have a very good chapter at Furman, and those students certainly made us proud there too, just as our students today. So thank you for this gift to the fraternity in perpetuity. Honor Sandy. So one more round.